I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just, just you listen to Boomer, great one. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
So, a couple days back, got a 400 Canadian dollar super chat. And I always worry about those, right? I'm like, did you hit too many zeros? Because that's a likely outcome. And people are like, no, man, we really had just, want to let you know, thanks. And, you get Elon Musk's filthy jockstrap donated like $1,000. I'm like, just pay me in PayPal. Let's not give 30% to YouTube. So our InfoSec agent in the field did $400 Canadian donation, like 300 US. And I always follow up like, hey, did you mean to do that? Or did you accidentally hit too many zeros? Like, I hit too many zeros. I'm thinking like, oh, so you meant to donate 40? No, 4. Like, how do you hit 2 extra zeros? So I said, well, do you want your money back? Minus Google's take, because I don't know how you get back Google's take. And then he sent back, where'd it go? I have no specific consulting request. Oh, the Canadian Super Chat was 2 digits larger than I intended. I have no specific consulting request, so I suggest any of the following. I guess he's okay with, he doesn't want the refund. Boomer original review of a movie I know that you like, Once Upon a Time in the West. I thought I did it before. I searched for it. I did not. Take the exchange rate minus Google's cut, less the income taxes you incur. You could donate the remaining funds anonymously to Missy. Well, it's not going to be anonymous anymore. Lots of Cappy's originals. I guess I'll do a little bit of all. Donate the rest. So I'll give you your this review of Once Upon a Time in the West, which, as I said, I thought I did do this, and I haven't. But I'll tell you, it's a must. I didn't watch it too long ago. The last time I saw it before this last time, it'd been 10 years, so I was a younger man. And I'd seen it once before that, probably another 10 years, probably when I was in my 20s. In my 20s, it was a good movie. I'm like, this is taking long. I like Charles Bronson's character, obviously, because he's the main character, sort of. But it starts right out with a gunfight. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. But that pace don't keep up. It goes real slow. And there's gunfights and some scenes and all that. And when I saw it when I was 30s or in my 30s, I was like, yeah, this is better than what I remember. And then I saw it most recently. I'm like, yeah, it's really good. It's not the best spaghetti western in my opinion, but it's I would say it's bordering on excellent. It is very well crafted. It's an excellent piece of art. It's not my favorite. Like I can distinguish something like that's exceptionally good in terms of quality, but I just don't personally like it that much. And I think that's what it's for me. It's a very good film. I wouldn't say excellent. Other people would find it excellent because it is an excellent piece of work. But yeah, it's one of the better spaghetti westerns. I would say it ranks up there with the trilogy Good, the Bad, the Ugly, Fistful of Dollars, Few Dollars More. I also highly regard Duck You Sucker, also known as A Fistful of Dynamite. This one is on par with that. It's a very, very good movie, and you should watch it. So don't waste your time with whatever girl boss She-Ra horse shit Disney is coming out with. I will go watch a good movie. Enjoy it instead. No one's going to watch it and say that wasn't good, right? They're going to watch it like that was good. Maybe not my cup of tea. I'm not really into Westerns, but you're not going to not like it. It will not be a waste of time, even though it's almost 3 hours long. So I'll give you the plot and the drawback and all that other jazz. The plot is Charles Bronson comes to town. I'm going to try not to ruin a lot of the spoils here. And he's in town for a reason, but somebody knows he was coming to town. And they sent 3 assassins to get him. All right. And he's got a harm. You don't know this. So the train comes up. The 3 assassins are ready for him to come off the train. He doesn't come off the train, and they're looking and like, okay, I guess he's not here. And they're all about to walk back to their horses. And the train moves away, and all of a sudden you hear a harmonica playing. And Charles Bronson got off on the other side of the train. And then there's a shootout, and I won't tell you what happens. You brought too many. Charles Bronson survives, and he's in town for a reason you don't know. Now, there's like 4 subplots going on here. Another subplot is there's this rich guy on a train, and he wants to own all the land in the area. He's sort of the official bad guy. And he has his enforcer played by Henry Fonda, who's an older guy, but he's evil. He's bad. He's like, what was the character in Tombstone? Like, he's the psycho one. And he's the one who's really got all the power. He's the one with the most clever strategy. He's going to screw everyone over. And these 2 bad guys want to get what seems to be a nothing piece of land out in the middle of nowhere. No one knows why they want to get this piece of land. Well, there's a homesteader there, guy. He's single dad. And this is now the 3rd plot. He is preparing a feast for a woman he met in New Orleans when he was traveling in New Orleans. He got married to her in New Orleans, and she is now coming out to help him raise his family, as he is a widower and he has, I think, 3 young children. While he's setting up the feast, because she's coming into town, all of a sudden some guys show up in trench coats and start mowing down the entire family because they want that land. No one can figure out why they want that land. This lady comes to town. I forget the actress's name. She's a 10. It's one of the most beautiful women ever. I'm like, what they took from us. Thank God we got Megan Rapinoe and Oink Oink Piggy Pig Lizzo. I guess who's losing weight now. This gal was gorgeous. And she's thrown into this where there's the family's dead. And now she's going to inherit the land because she's the wife, but she was denied the family. So she's kind of upset. And there's my favorite character of this whole thing, Cheyenne. And he's the head of a gang. And the murders of all these people are being blamed on him and his gang. And Charles Bronson, he doesn't know if it was Cheyenne's gang or whose gang was sent after him to go kill him over at the railroad station. And Cheyenne's like, yeah, I've done a lot of it. He's the anti-hero. He's like, yeah, I've done a lot of bad things, but this wasn't it. I don't kill kids. And Charles Bronson and him kind of like eye each other up, and I don't have proof it was you, and you don't have proof it was me, but I got my eye on you. And the story continues, let's just say, so I don't ruin any of it for you, where all 4 or 5 of these subplots meet. And you find out why everyone's incentive is there, and it ends very, very interestingly. It is a long movie because there's a lot going on. The director did not chintz out. Like, no, you have to understand what's happening in this plot. You have to understand what's happening in that plot. We have to have this scene happen. And I'm perfectly all right with it being almost a 3-hour movie because there's not a lot of fat. There's not a lot of fat. It is slow, however. And normally an impatient man like me, like when I was one in my 20s, that's the one thing I didn't like about it. But now I'm okay with it because it's so well done it's just like sipping whiskey at a slower rate, right? Just taking your time and enjoying it. And like I said, there's no fat. This is all muscle. This is all good. And because it's so well done, you don't mind that it's going so slow. And I looked in it, and you'll know, but you will say, yeah, this is slow. What's going on here? I think it's Sergio Leone directed it. And he says, we were having, there's all the shootouts, right? The Westerns, spaghetti Westerns came in the late 60s, early 70s, or mid 60s. There was always the shootout starting from the 1930s Westerns up until the 1950s. It had tons of shootouts, right? He wanted the build up to the shootout to be kind of the focus, not the shootout itself. So there'd be not necessarily a lot of talking, but there'd be tension. You don't even know if there's going to be a shootout. And when I saw, like, yeah, okay, I see that. But it's kind of like Midnight Run. When I saw that, I was in the 8th grade when I saw Midnight Run. I didn't know why, but I liked it because it was good quality all the way through it. And yes, okay, it's about opposite men diametrically opposed by life. But a good movie is a good movie. You don't have to understand why it's a good movie. This is one of those things where you don't have to be an old seasoned man to say, oh, that's clever what they did there. I think you'll like it on any age and any level. It's just a little long. And if you're a little impatient, understand it's purposely supposed to be that way, and to look at the tension that's being built up in scenes that seem to go a little bit too long. I own it. It's that good of a movie. I recommend everybody see it. What's your opportunity cost? Oh, I mean, really, are you gonna go watch The Acolyte? No, go watch a good movie. And Charles Bronson was an interesting choice. It was real interesting. They had Charles Bronson, and he does a good job, but he's just Charles Bronson, he's just this badass guy, and have too many. So I enjoyed it very much. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.